My favorite color is red.
I'm Chad. I'm Vivian's father. Um, Vivian and the Magnetic Cow here. Um, we do, prior to the pandemic, we did Renaissance festivals and um, just general what's it in performance and things like that.
I'm Michelle, the Magnetic Cow. I'm Vivian's mom. I am the one Zenith's partner of 10 plus years.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So I discovered you guys by watching Venus World, I believe, and she rated y'all, and I never looked back. I fell in love with all three of you guys. We became really, really close, and y'all are really, really, really special to me. And I try to do all I can to give y'all support and views and anything else I can do. So Vivian is a little special, and so is Mom. Could y'all tell us a little bit about that?
What we do? Okay. Me and Vivian have a genetic condition called neurofibromatosis type 1, which, in very simple terms, causes tumors to grow on different nerve endings in the body. When I was 8, I had one grow on my optic nerve area and caused a blockage of spinal fluid from my brain to drain, which is called hydrocephalus, and it took my sight at 8. Um, we found Vivian's hydrocephalus beforehand, thanks to a mom group I'm a part of, who encouraged everyone to get early MRIs on their kids to find issues before things happen. And that probably saved Vivian from losing her sight and going through what I did. We had Vivian's shunt surgery to put a pump in her brain to drain the extra fluid right before the pandemic. So
Yeah.
if this had happened later, Vivi probably would have been at the hospital by herself because of restrictions due to COVID. But luckily, she had both of us.
And that's awesome.
Yes.
So, Miss Peanut, how do you like streaming?
How do I like stream? I like it quite a lot.
Really?
Sometimes at times when I make mistakes over and over and all that, and I do sometimes get frustrated, but that's okay because every now and then you do get frustrated, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about streaming?
Favorite part about it? Sometimes at the end when we rate you, if you are alive, sometimes we have new songs, we do the guessing game because lately not very many people have actually answered it, and I don't remember how many times it actually has happened, but not very many. So it kind of makes me excited to see who will answer it.
That's awesome. So, tell us some things you like to do when you're not on stream.
Some things I like to do.
Yeah.
Well, if it's always passive streaming and having good enough ability, playing Animal Crossing, making Minecraft, having dairy-free ice cream since I'm allergic to dairy, same as my dad. If I finish my chores I had to do, sometimes I like watching stuff on YouTube, playing some games on my computer, or board games with my mom.
What is your favorite instrument to play? And your favorite song?
My favorite instrument to play and my favorite instrument to play. Well, that's kind of hard decision. Because guitar I started at 4, so that's like the one that I've been playing the most. So like guitar's kind of in my heart of it, but ukulele with the songs that we've been playing, all kind of fun. So it's like kind of a big decision between guitar and ukulele. And my favorite song, are you talking about the favorite song I play or just my favorite song in the world
How about
basically?
both? How about both of them?
Favorite song to play. I kind of have a favorite song on each instrument. Allegro on violin because it's a kind of like a jumpy song. On guitar, probably Let It Be and Noah Man, the Beatles song, because Beatles are like my favorite band. So that's like my favorite songs on guitar. And then my favorite song on ukulele is Pio Pio, I've Got No Strings. But my favorite song, like in the whole world, well, that's kind of a hard one because I do have a few that I don't play. One of them is What Does a Fox Say? Another one is like the first Beatles song that I heard was I Wanna Hold Your Hand, so that's another one I like. And I do like some folk songs, especially Drunken Sailor.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the sea shanties? I know you always play Leave Her Johnny for me every
I
day.
like playing. I like playing that for you.
Well, thank
And
you.
not just for you, and also just how it sounds on the violin. How that deep low notes ring out.
I agree with you on that. It's a very good song. To your dad, how do you think streaming has changed your life for good and for bad?
Well, I'd like to end that question on a positive note, so I'll say the bad first. Sometimes, it can be really stressful because, the two rules of performance is never perform with children and never perform with animals. So we've had both on the stream. And it sometimes trying to keep that schedule, which is not only important for the actual performance aspect of streaming and any performance, but it's good to keep that routine for Vivian because of her ADHD. It's really good if we keep her on a routine so that she knows what to expect next because she doesn't like change.
Neither do I.
What I would say has made it better is especially, when lockdown came and everything, it was really useful because it allowed us to, feel like we still existed in the world and there were still other people out there that we could connect with and communicate with. And the interaction with I've never had a community on the internet that has been more accepting and welcoming and positive as Twitch. People might say a lot of things about Twitch, but really it has the least toxic community on the internet that I found.
And
There's really good people here.
I also like that, like the new thing that we added with bells. It makes me kind of excited to when you have the bells, like not just how they sound, just like getting bells and seeing at the end how many bells they got, and really exciting if I break my record. That just makes me all happy inside.
And I agree with you. To Vivi, what songs would you like to learn in the future?
Um, that I don't play, but probably once I get like really good at guitar, maybe my favorite song that I said earlier, "What Does a Fox Say?" Because that just I love that song.
Is that
I
that
want
song?
to learn that sometime.
Can you sing it for us?
I don't remember much of the words.
Just a little bit.
Well, it's kind of hard. I only remember the one phrase right here. When it says, "What does the fox say?" But it kind of says it in a jumpy mood. I
That's
just kind
okay.
of forgot how it went.
Mhm. To Mom,
Yes.
Val says, "You're a really awesome player with
Oh,
limited
thank you.
sight." So the question would be, how did you learn to play since you're legally blind? I mean, it had to be hard.
Uh, I we got our Super Nintendo before I lost my sight. We had a few games. We had Super Mario World. We had All Star, which had a few games on it, and a Home Alone game. So I learned how to play those before I lost my sight. And after I lost my sight, I continued to play them and remembered where all the enemies were and that. So I just kept playing them throughout the years. And I just coped with learning or managing what I remembered. I in January, I think it was, Chad started me on Animal Crossing. Just like the first time I played something outside of my bubble. And
Told you you'd like it.
yeah, I'm addicted.
That's awesome.
My character walks into trees a lot and digs holes a lot where she's not supposed to, and
Very true to life.
picks flowers when she's not supposed to. But I like it. It's fun. It's something outside of my bubble, but it's safe. I'm not gonna die. My character is gonna, be okay.
It's good to see you find a game you can enjoy because
Yeah.
our friend Drew, that's always in chat. Drew is a lot like me, and he's very shy and not outgoing that much. And me and Vera are trying to build his confidence and make him out there and more active. And I think him hearing that games help you come out of your bubble can do the same for him. So
Yeah.
it's good to see that people can mention games in a positive light for once instead of negative. So to Dad, Kiza asks, do you plan on getting back into outdoor performances or going to events once we open back up?
There's actually a lot of things that we'd like to do once things open back up. One of the things that we had talked about very specifically was going to the Great Lakes, going to like Pebble Beach and Stepping Stone Falls, and going to and if you'll excuse the profanity, Hell, Michigan is actually a place that
That's
literally
really
hell freezes over every year in Michigan. And
That's awesome.
what was it like?
They have barbecue and ice cream. That was supposed to be really good.
Yep.
Really?
The ice cream in hell and the barbecue in hell is really supposed to be fantastic. And for a price on your birthday, they will make you mayor of hell for a day.
That's awesome. I gotta go do this. I have to do this now. That'd be mayor of hell. So, Vivi, what are some things that you like? I know you like compasses. Why do you like compasses?
Why the compasses? Well, like one of the reasons that I learned about compasses recently in my school, I think was science or social studies.
The science.
Science. Thank you, Mama. Is they actually have a magnet in them, which I didn't know. So I know that I did not put them next to my head, which I didn't do that earlier before. But I like they using the magnetic needle with the face towards north, and that kind of made me like more into compasses. And also another reason why I like compasses is they're just like a map that just shows you north, south, versus down, of course.
That's true.
What?
What are the other two directions, kid?
West and east.
Good.
The way that I remember it is never eat soggy waffles. I learned that in school for like one of the fun little things for like a workout thing in my class in second grade. So that wasn't too far. That wasn't like really long back.
To Vivi. They'll ask, are there other things besides music skills that you would like to stream in the future?
Besides music scales that I would do in the future,
Yes.
well, probably with violin. I'm gonna start learning soloists probably far ahead in the future, but still I might learn that
Other than music.
other than music. Oh, some of the things I might learn.
Or that you might already know that you'd like to stream.
What about poetry?
Well,
You
we
like
used to
poetry?
stream, oh yeah, poetry. I used to do that, but I don't do it anymore.
Why not?
Another thing. Oh, I don't remember the reason why, because we just kind of stopped after a while. I don't
Ah,
remember why. Another thing that we used to stream, I want to go back to and get more practice into is juggling. We
juggling.
just kind of stopped. We
That's
kind of just
awesome.
stopped after I got my son, because if that hit my head, even though it's just a like light hacky sack, it still could hurt me, right?
Yeah.
We stopped the juggling because we had been doing that right before her shunt surgery,
Right.
and we stopped so that it could heal up.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally we do still juggle on stream. We've read some poetry on stream. Like, remember when you read Haikiri, the card that came with your stuffed animals and your puppets,
Uh-huh.
the poems that were in there, and the poem books that I had you read of
I
wisdom
know.
and stuff.
I thought there was one over here that we could read. Uh-huh.
Oh, there's two of them right there.
No, that's a Squishmallow.
Oh, pardon me.
I don't know. Wow, the bunny one.
Yeah, you
This
can read
one's
this
the
one.
bunny.
You can read
It's
this
okay if I
one.
read.
Of course, of
It's
course.
okay. The Prince and the Hopper. Jellybean, a plump, soft rabbit with floppy ears, was a little girl pet in a poor horse house. She walked him in the pink harness, kept him blessed and fluffed, and fed him lots of tasty rabbit food. One morning of the outwings in the meadow, Jellybean had fallen asleep after eating his fill of turnips. When he was awakened by a tugging on his paw, opening his eyes, he saw another rabbit, but a dainty and unfluffy one. "I'm Jack," said the stranger. "I'm a wild cottontail rabbit. You look more like a stuffed animal than a real rabbit." "I'm a Highland hop," said Jellybean proudly. "And that little girl over there takes me of all my needs care for a turnip." "You're a lucky bunny," said the scruffy rabbit. "When I'm searching my food for food, I'm hiding so I don't get eaten myself. I would change places with you in a second. Jellybean was tired of being kept in a harness, and he thought trading places with Jack was a great idea. What an adventure that would be. So Jack slipped into the pink harness and Jellybean hopped off towards the woods, happy to be free. When the girl saw Jack, she wondered how the little Jellybean had managed to get so dirty. She took him home and ducked him in a bath of soapy water and gave him good scrubbing. Jack hated it. He jumped through and hid behind a cabinet. Meanwhile, after some delightful exploring in the woods, Jellybean started to get hungry. But he couldn't find his usual rabbit food. Soon it became dark and the woods was full of unfamiliar sounds. He hid in a hollow stump where he spent the rest of the night suffering cold and afraid. The next morning, the girl thought her little violet still looked a bit scuffy. Even after a good brush in the woods, Jack didn't like at all. She put him on her lap while she did her lesson. Suddenly, there was a scratching at the door. When the little girl opened it, Jellybean hopped in and Jack shot in a flash. I'm out of here, Jellybean. The Doorspike life is not for me. Jellybean was happy to be back in his safe and comfortable home, but he would never forget his ride friend. From that day on, Jellybean left a carrot for Jack on the windowsill every night. The end.
Awesome. Thank you for the story.
And after the
Keza asks to mom and dad, have you ever met other families with the same condition? And if so, what are support groups like?
Have we ever met any other families with disabled conditions? Yes. For instance, I have two such individuals right here, right now.
What did I do wrong this time? What?
Come here.
Okay. I'm gonna try it.
I'm sure y'all probably know these two.
Hello.
So there's Shelly Bell,
Sneak by you right here.
and there's Coco right there.
Hey, Nikki.
And
How you doing, buddy?
um,
Thank you.
the two of them are good friends of ours, and they're also disabled.
Well,
And
okay.
we have your
So
friend
Nikki
Yeah.
and Shelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, by the way, a question for y'all.
Sure. Okay.
What
What's
is
up?
it like being a part of the Vivi family?
I didn't catch that.
What is it like to be a part of the Vivi family?
Oh, well, I got adopted in pretty much right away.
Yeah, so did I. They are something else, I'll give you that. No, in many good ways. They can mostly attest to the fact that I was very quiet, very shy, very careful, and then just like, oh yeah, that went out the window.
They brought us out of our shell, basically. We were very quiet and secluded.
That's
And
awesome.
then getting used to it and being friends with them has helped us break through a lot of nervousness. And Vivian's been wonderful because Vivian just goes and says, "Come here, let's do this, let's do that." Like she didn't see any difference in us. She says, "I want to do this, let's do this," and that was about it.
To her, she didn't see the autism. To her, she saw two people that were relatively thought like her. And just the other day, we made dog bones, like
Awesome.
homemade dog bones for
Dog
Michelle's dog.
Yeah, but you can hear whining in the background.
She's whining.
She tends to be a bit loud.
She
She heard me come up the
And-
war.
Truth be told, I'm Vivian's favorite.
Oh, it's a thing. This is a thing. No, I'm not kidding. This is a thing. When Nicole met Chad and Michelle and Vivian first, and then I met them,
I'll back out of the pictures.
and then Vivian knew Nicole first, so it was automatic. So, and then when I started coming around, and Chad would say, Coco's coming over, Shelly's coming over. When Shelly would come over, she wouldn't have as big of a reaction. But when Coco would come over,
She's hanging off my
she's
neck.
literally over the moon.
That's awesome.
Excited. So I learned really quickly that I am second fiddle.
But in all fairness, you do have to look at who knew Vivian first in the order of introduction. I really don't think that there's really favorites. I just think that she met me first, and then on the scene comes Shelly. And then she learns more about Michelle and the fact that, as she stated, we're mirror twins, and that's just something that tickles her to death.
She loves it.
And
She
she'll
introduced
love
us that way.
She'll tell people about it. You've heard her on stream many times. They're mirror twins. So really, I think it's just order of meeting, and that's all that is.
And so not only do we have the two of them, we've got my friend Lee and his wife Heather. Heather's a legally blind author.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I mean,
We're gonna
there's.
step back out.
Let's see.
I have a couple of friends
Yep.
who I met at a school for the blind back in 2006, something like that, who I still keep in contact with.
So a question to all of y'all, actually. 1 second. When you have a hard day or a difficult day, what are some of the things that you do to cope with that? I know Vivi always tells me, and it has helped me a lot over the last few months, no bad days. So how do you all, twins included, keep from having no bad days?
Well, that's
Go ahead.
You go first.
that's kind of a hard question to answer. I've always kind of been the kind of kid that's always kind of had almost every day a happy day.
That's good.
And then my class for my school and group mates, whether it's my violin class, my school class, I've always been the kind of kid, if I know the answer, to raise my hand. Like, sometimes I'm the only kid in my group class for school that have a hand up. I'm like, yay, I want to
I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of kid who wants, yeah, don't give me, I want to say,
How do you keep from having bad days?
For me, music is a big coping mechanism for me. It's always been that way. I mean, my father introduced me to music really early on. He didn't play any instruments, but there was always music playing in the house. Always some type of music going on, and frequently that's the same way here. Is there's always music. Either we're playing music or we're listening to music, or there's a video game that somebody's playing and we're listening to the music from that. Vivian and I fiddled around, and I think it was even on stream we were fiddling around playing the intro to Animal Crossing on ukulele. But music for me has always been a big outlet. Video games, memes are a big thing. The whole humor, memes, and more memes.
That's a good thing. And what about you, Michelle?
To settle down a stressful day, I'll put on Netflix. 'Cause Netflix has audio description for the blind, so I can listen to what's going on, and there's a voice telling me, what this character is doing, and I'll play with my Rubik's Cube twisty puzzles. That settles my brain a lot, because if I can fix this puzzle that has, with the normal Rubik's Cube has 46 quintillion different possibilities. I can fix something of this magnitude. I can fix most things in my life.
And what about you, twins?
What?
Do you cut out? What was that?
Oh, I was asking Nicole.
On
And
the
Jenny,
phone,
what do they do?
Oh, sorry, we stepped out because we didn't want to we didn't want to crash your interview.
It's too late now.
Too late now. Okay. Fuck. Coco, do you want to start?
What's the question?
What you do to make sure you don't have a bad day?
First of all, I cry. They can also attest to that. But much like Chad, music, I personally pray. It makes me feel better. I work on my relationship with God without getting too far into the religious thing.
Oh, don't worry,
And
don't
then
worry. You're free to say
I'll
whatever you
watch
want.
YouTube.
Say
I watch
whatever
like
you want.
YouTube. Thank you, by the way. YouTube, music, much like you. I'll just kind of do what needs to be done, but mostly crying helps. Because she's dying of laughter over here.
I'm trying to be very, very nice right now.
Well, it's High Curious Stream, so you don't have to be as
I
family
know.
friendly as we usually are on our stream.
She's trying not to.
Well,
is the issue.
For me, I have to go a little lower because of my knee. Ugh. So for me, it's simple. Like, a lot of times it's either I play Animal Crossing a lot, and it seems to distract me quite a bit. It makes me happy. Because I work at a grocery store every day, and I have to sit behind a register for 6 to 8 hours a day.
I hear
So,
you.
for me, it's a matter of just coming home to chill out. And in the last few months, it's been very hard to do that. But I've been grateful for Chad, Michelle, and Vivi because it doesn't matter what's going on. They either give me a hug or say, "What can we do to make your day better?" Or we just laugh about something. Or force feed me ice cream or food. That works too.
See, she don't got to deal with people trying to steal Roombas. That's just going to say that now.
I knew that would make me laugh. Say that again, thank you.
Always the Roombas.
Mhm.
Oh, that's Nicole's thing.
Oh,
That's Nicole's thing. Is that the one thing she remembers?
Keisa asks, how has raising awareness to your neighbors and social media been with or within your own little personal community?
As far as in our own community, most of the awareness of either us as a family or our music or Vivian and Michelle's condition has been more in-person stuff, not social media. Pretty much so any of the stores that we go to, we are recognized by employees as, hey, look, it's family. Hi, family. Like, we can't walk into Walmart without, like, at least a dozen of the Walmart employees greeting us. Because, yeah, they know us by first name. They're always there. And they're like, hey, how you doing? How's this, that, and the other? And, you know, if I see, like, just walking around talking, it's, you know, somebody's dropped something, you know, one of the employees has a cart tip over, and without missing a beat, I'm helping them put stuff back on, and then, you know, take off and go do our thing. And a lot of other business owners in the area. As far as social media is concerned, while we do keep connections with some friends and family through Facebook and Twitter and other social media accounts, it's really more if we are there in person that we actually get connections with people.
Michelle asks, she thinks that you have mentioned this before, that you play board games together. Which is your favorite? Hers was always Monopoly. I like Life. The game of Life is my favorite.
What's your favorite board game, Vivi?
That's kind of a hard question. We recently got the game of life.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And like I've only played it one time, but like Mama could explain to you like how many like babies she got in the game. She had to get another car with the phone and have her dog drive the triplets of boys. It's kind of funny. And I had my cat in the beginning be my passenger until I got my boyfriend in the game. I also like chess. So it's like life is my favorite, but I also like chess.
Chess.
Chess. You like
Chess.
Mario chess.
I love chess. Chess is a favorite
That's what that
Yeah.
is.
favorite of mine.
I would say my favorite board game would have been one of the Dungeons and Dragon games that they came out with. Yeah, The Legend of Drizzt and a whole bunch of the other ones. We used to play Dungeons and Dragons a lot. We played 3.5 edition. And so that was one of the big things
I've
that
never
I
played
really did.
Dungeons and Dragons in my life, but I've always wanted to try it.
We need
You,
to change
you,
that.
you would enjoy it.
We need to change that quickly. Very much.
My favorite board game is either playing chess with Vivian or playing Clue. All the kids stopped playing Clue with me as a kid because I always won and I never used the clue sheets. 'Cause I couldn't see. I had to just remember what I was shown
And also with
in
Uno.
Yahtzee. Yahtzee. My sister stopped playing Yahtzee with me because I got like 5 or 6 Yahtzees on her, and she could never beat me at any game, so she stopped playing games with me.
And also Uno people like cheat with you using the wires as skips,
That's a
but
different
you
game.
still won.
That's a different game, Vivian. But yeah,
With Uno, when Michelle and I first started living together, we used to play competitive Uno against each other where we would bet chores, household chores. So who did the dishes or who did the laundry or whatever was determined by Uno games. She doesn't play Uno with me anymore.
That's awesome.
Y'all cheat.
I did not cheat.
Y'all
I
cheat.
just,
Don't
I
lie.
just beat you so
Don't
bad.
lie.
I don't play card games. I count cards.
See?
Oh, that's
He just
awesome.
admitted it.
I didn't admit anything.
Yes,
I don't know what you're talking about.
lie. And slander.
Lie, slander. No wonder no one plays Clue with you.
So, Vivi,
Uh-huh.
I hear that you like jokes. Can you tell us a joke?
Let's preface that. What type of joke do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Any types you want.
What's that?
any type.
Any
Any
type?
type.
Baby, you need to ask him what you asked us.
Okay.
Ask him.
Is it okay if I say a dark humor joke?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it okay with Dad that you say a dark
Yeah.
humor joke?
That's the big thing.
How many babies does it take to paint a barn?
How many babies does it take to paint a barn? I don't know.
Depends on how hard you throw them.
That's awesome.
That's
Yes.
the beginning for this child. Oh my gosh.
So her uncle was kind enough to teach her a whole bunch of dead baby jokes one year,
That's awesome.
which she proceeded to repeat over and over to every patron that came to our booth.
That's how I met you guys.
Yes.
Was Vinny and jokes.
Again, to be a little less wholesome for a moment, I would say probably the funniest incident with a joke with Vivian was when I told my lesbian vampire joke to a friend of mine at the
I was
booth,
just, oh my word.
and
You might have to
So-
tell the joke. Tell the
Yeah,
joke.
you might have to tell the joke.
so what did one lesbian vampire say to the other?
I don't know. Wait.
See you next month.
Yes, yes.
So go ahead, Vivian. What did you do?
I explained the joke to him.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
What did you say, Vivian?
I don't remember it completely, but I explained like how women have periods every month to him.
She explained what a period was.
Oh no.
She went through and explained the menstrual cycle to a 20-year-old man.
And said,
Yes.
"You're not a girl. You're not a dad. You don't know this."
Oh my god.
And just the color just drained out of his face. It was like, oh.
I think she was 6 or 7 at the time.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's
I
amazing.
look at the synopsis.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
it was.
It made for a perfect joke.
It sure did. Kiza asks, what advice would you give to families that could be going through what you have but may not know anything about the condition?
Going through the medical condition or just the situation in general. I mean, we've all kind of found ourselves in this weird situation because of what's going on in the world today.
It's true. Let's go with medical condition.
Diligence. Don't just let things slide. If something seems like there's, kind of going wrong, don't put off going to the doctor. Go to the doctor. The best case scenario is that you're just being hypersensitive to something. They'll do a test and it'll come up negative. Everything's fine. But it's that one test that you ignore that could end up being absolutely life-changing and potentially life-ending.
Yeah.
If we were extremely diligent about things and insist on the MRI and insist on some of the testing, Vivian probably wouldn't be here today.
Or
Yes.
she'd be blind, or paralyzed, or myriad of other things that could have caused from the hydrocephalus.
Yeah, when she had the shunt put in her head, there was so much pressure on her brain from the fluid buildup that the hemispheres of her brain had separated. I mean, you could see very clearly how much of her brain had been
Wow.
compressed under the pressure.
Yeah. The day she had her MRI, her doctor called us that night and said, "You need to come in tomorrow. We need to talk." They're like, "We come in at 8. She's like, "Don't worry if you're late. Just whenever you can, come in early, but just come in wherever."
So we're extremely thankful that we did our diligence, we did our
Yeah.
homework, we researched things.
Yeah.
We made sure that if something didn't seem like it was right, to start looking into what testing can be done, what can be
Yeah.
investigated, what can be found out, and that's what makes the biggest difference.
Parents showed it.
Do you want to tell them about the recent surgery you had? Well, recent being a relative term.
So, a couple years ago, I developed this growth under my skin on my leg, and it was causing me pain. And it took going to multiple doctors to figure out what it was. It was a different kind of tumor associated with DNF than I was aware of. So it caused me to join a bunch of support groups and find out what else, enough can cause that I'm unaware of. And that's what led to us getting an early MRI in Vivian, because I read all these horrifying stories of things NF was causing in other kids. And all the moms were like, get early MRIs. And mommy groups can turn crazy and stuff, but I'm very grateful for the over encouragement for early detection.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Val asks, have you ever been to a convention about the disorder?
I'm sorry, I missed part of that. Have I
Oh,
ever
sorry.
what? That's okay.
Have you ever been to a convention about your medical condition?
An NF
No,
convention.
I have not. There is an NF clinic an hour from us. I've considered talking to Vivian's doctor about getting her a doctor there. But she has a doctor for her NF. And she has one for her hydrocephalus. But no, I've never been to a convention. Just support groups online.
I've been to a couple of Comic-Cons.
I don't know if that's the same. A nice try.
It depends on the Comic-Con you go to.
Okay,
I'm
fair,
just saying.
but
That's true.
fair.
Me and my sister been to a.
Oh yeah, many times. That was fun. Many times. But I'm not gonna crash it.
If you were to become a partnered streamer on Twitch, how would you approach making positive changes and awareness?
That's a good question. Very good question.
See, that's with streaming for us. It's not really about being affiliate or partner or anything like that. We're doing it simply because we enjoy doing it. It lets Vivian feel like she's actually performing for an audience instead of just going through the motions of practice. So as far as building awareness for the disability or anything else, I don't know how I would approach it, because everything that leads to that, like being affiliate, being partner, comes with monetization. And I don't know how I feel about monetization when it comes to people with disabilities. I don't want Vivian to become a a thing that people look at and throw money at based on pity or something like that. I want her to be seen as an artist when she grows up. And same with Michelle when she's streaming on her channel. I don't want people to come look at her like she's some kind of spectacle, to gawk at. I mean, we make jokes on her channel. We try to make light of the disability and the disadvantages that both Vivian and Michelle have in life. But at the end of the day, it's not about trying to monetize that. To me, that really makes me feel uncomfortable to approach, because there's so many really bad ways that can go. I like the idea more of it would be, we have a performance that we put on, and maybe we have a link for funding to go to certain charities that support individuals with disabilities, or we have a specific thing that goes to support Vivian's music education, or something like that. I mean, the grand majority of what we have made from Twitch has gone to pay for her violin classes.
Right. That's a good way to look at it. I mean, when me and Vale first started streaming, it's because, we don't live with each other. So the things we do together are normally online. Or we would call on the phone. Before the internet, we would use telephone to watch movies together or play games together. And then when we got the PS4, I was like, well, now we can stream for each other and show each other games that I can't play or just don't have. And that's how it started. And then I was like, with all these people that do this as a job, why can't I? And,
Mhm.
the same mentality, I want to get rich, For the first 5 years of doing this, I was like, I want to make it big. I want to be the rich guy that gets big on Twitch. But as those years went on, while the money's nice, I don't want people to pop onto my stream, say, oh my god, he's in a wheelchair. He needs my money. No, I want your money because of you like what I do. You enjoy my show, and when I offer that, I don't want it out of pity or anything like that. And now that this last year, and a little bit longer than a year, I've met so many awesome people like all of y'all and Keeza and Ben and and while the money's nice, in reality, I know it's not a feasible dream to say, hey, I want to be that big scale streamer
You'll get
like Amaranth or whatever because in that situation, making that much money, we would lose our medical benefits. And if we lost that, then we have nothing. When you have medical conditions, there's no in between. You either make a lot or you make a little. Because if you make a lot, it has to be enough where you can cover all your medical expenses. You know, and it has to be a daily thing. In order to do that, it has to be that level of success. So I think, sitting at the level of success where we are now is pretty much, the whole dream. Where I can make $200 a month or $300 a month. Where it's not a lot of money to normal people. To us, that lets us save up for things we could have. So while I would love to be a partner streamer and make that kind of impact on Twitch as a whole, I would like to use my status more as a way, more as a way of helping people like you or people like Kiza, to bring their dreams to fruition instead of just mine. I don't think it's bad, but I think when people all start streaming, that's their immediate thought is I want to get rich. And I think that if you can use your position to help others, that's a lot more rewarding than all any money that you can ever make. You know?
And yeah, and I know you and I have had private conversations regarding people with disabilities and the social security system and monetary situations, and how people who look at it from the outside really don't understand what it means when that's all you have to live on. Even if you had everything else covered, just the little that you get when you are disabled, how much that really means as far as independence and
Correct.
how important it is.
A question to Vivi from Kiza. If you could create a new game, what would it be like?
Well, thinking about it just now, it would just be animal based.
Really?
Yeah, like you could choose a certain animal be and you could like craft things, kind of like Minecraft somewhat. Minecraft mixed with Animal Crossing plus animals, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it would be like you wouldn't like it would be like Animal Crossing how you can make all these other things, but you could like make some crazy things like Minecraft with a crafting table and all that. And it just wouldn't be square, it'd be more like real life looking. And you could be like a certain animal or something and make animal friends, make a farm and all that stuff.
That sounds really fun.
And you
I
can
would play
gain
that.
levels to unlock stuff for your outfits and certain crafting recipes.
I would say that. When you grow old, you better make that game for me. I'll be waiting for it.
And figure out how.
Figure it out.
Maybe just write the music for it.
Okay, order music. I'll buy a soundtrack.
That would be hard.
For Dad, if you could be an opening performer for anyone in the world, who would it be?
If I could be or if I could meet.
Be. If you could be.
If I could be any performer in the world, who
The
would I be?
opening performing act.
An opening act.
Opening act.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's a
I
fun
mean-
question.
If we're gonna say any performer living or dead, either George Carlin or Robin Williams,
Oh, good choices.
or if we're talking performers that are living currently, maybe. Oh gosh, what's his name? From Full House?
Oh,
No.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
yes.
Because if you've ever seen any of Bob Saget's,
Oh.
Oh, God.
I ruined her childhood. I showed her Bob Saget stand up.
That's awesome.
She didn't know that that he.
I didn't know
That's
any of them
awesome.
were like not like pure and wholesome.
Oh, it made me so happy to see her like just blush red watching his stand up.
Yeah,
That's
it was
just
so
unfair
funny.
and uncool.
Oh, it was so funny.
That's just uncool.
some of it was funny. Like his Full House comedy was funny. We was talking about the male donkey they had on the show and the donkey that had
That kind of reminds me
He's an
of
act.
the
Kiza asks, who is your favorite superhero and why?
superhero. Mine. I don't really watch movies with superheroes and all that. Like these superheroes are common like Batman, Spider-Man. I don't usually watch those kinds of movies. But what I would say from what I've kind of seen of pictures of them, the one that probably to me sounds the most interesting is maybe Spider-Woman. That's kind of a hard question because I don't.
Gwen Stacy.
Can you grab?
Yeah,
Coco.
Bye, Coco.
Not your laptop.
Preferably.
Hold on. I just have to trim my whistle.
My favorite superheroes growing up, I would say Wolverine, Deadpool. I really enjoyed a lot of the backstory of Wolverine originally.
Michael.
The Immortal Warrior was kind of cool, and then seeing him go across cultures, Native American culture and Japanese culture was really interesting to read. What's your favorite superhero, dear?
When I was a kid, when I was like 5 or 6, I was really into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Donatello.
That is not
Donatello.
Donatello was my favorite. I had him on a wall poster on my left side, and I always slept facing him. Kept the monsters away. I can only sleep on my left side to this day because of Donatello.
That's awesome. Val asks, have you ever considered playing any rhythm-based music games?
We've played some music games. I've tried to find some really good rhythm games for the Switch for Vivian, but every time I had gone into the store to try to find them, they were out of stock of what I had recently researched. And as far as rhythm games and music games that are on the PC or that we would just, more analog games, Vivian does have some games that she can go to on her Chromebook that the school gave her to do her schoolwork on. The school gave her a specific website that they could go to and play some music games, but they were kind of.
Yeah.
We used to play Musician a lot until they stopped supporting Windows 7.
This is what we have.
And we have Rocksmith,
Oh,
and we have oh gosh, what else? We have like 2 other PC music games I don't recall off the top of my head. We don't play them all that often. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They're fun. It's just it seems like we never have time.
Between homes or virtual school and music practice and all that stuff.
Work and everything. It's just there just does not seem to be enough hours in the day. We're always
Val
doing something.
says, if you need any help finding good music games on the Switch, let her know because she knows. She knows lots of them. And I
Okay.
can agree with that.
Definitely in music games or specifically rhythm games for this one, for the Switch.
Okay. We will get on that. I know it's almost bedtime for her, so we'll wrap this up with a couple of more questions.
Okay.
One from Kiza, or 2 from Kiza, from Winter Vivi. Who is your favorite Disney princess and your favorite Disney song?
Disney princess and same with the superheroes. I'm not into like Disney princesses and all that. I'm not like there's kids like girls who have a favorite Disney princess and all that. So I don't really have a favorite one. My favorite Disney song, I'm just going to do both, like that I play and that I know. One that I play is like I Got No Strings. It's just a fun song. Then one that I don't play, The Little Mermaid.
Oh, nice.
The Under the Water song?
Mm-hmm.
Under the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love my favorite Disney song is from The Little Mermaid. Uh, Part of Your World. That's my favorite song. Keys asks if you were on a panel with a group of other streamers answering questions, who would be sitting with you?
If we were on a panel with a bunch of other streamers answering questions, who would be with us?
Yes.
Well, hopefully, of course, the whole family would be there. I would love for you to be there.
Well, thank you.
Ben, for sure, because Ben is hilarious. I think he would be super amusing. Vale, for sure. Keza, I would love to have Keza as well. Keza, would you work security for it? I appreciate that, man. And
You just told everyone to drink.
Oh,
yeah,
hydration.
we need tofu there too. Let's see, and we'd need some eye candy.
Always I
Eye
can.
candy. Yeah.
I was
mean,
thinking,
not the same type of candy, kid.
With the beard.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'd try to convince one of the VTubers, Nanners.
Good
Nanners. That would be funny because I like Nanners.
Good
Nanners
choice.
is funny.
Alright, so Twitch. Where do you see Twitch in the next 5 years?
Hopefully, continuing to be a positive platform to be on, and not extremely restrictive, and not bogged down with content ID systems like YouTube,
Yes.
because YouTube is absolute garbage when it comes to content ID.
Yes, it is.
And again, most positive outlook. I'd love to see Twitch continue to grow and get to a point where it doesn't have to cater to bigger corporate and media sponsors. It can, make do with its own community that it's developed that continues to be welcoming of new content creators. That's where I would like to see it go.
That's a good answer. That's a very good answer. Tell the little princess. I hear you like bunnies. Can you introduce us to one of your bunny friends?
getting one of our bunnies out and on camera.
Yeah. We gotta meet them.
I can make the attempt.
Oh, I meant
Right
that.
now,
I meant the stuffed animals.
I'd have to go outside to get one of them because all of our
I meant
animals
the
are
stuffed
out.
animals.
Oh, stuffed animal.
Yes.
That cat right here had a bunny.
Oh, we have
Would you
a
like
cat.
to-
And who is this?
I have a necklace on it.
Call it catacorn.
I actually have a zine on the cat. I'm just going to take the necklace off. to see the normal of it. I got this from my master. I don't remember how long ago, but about a year ago.
That's more than a year ago.
Yeah, but about. I don't
I think it
remember.
was like 2.
Too.
It's too bad we don't have Tampa down here.
Yeah.
Tampa's got stories.
His story.
Yeah, but I still haven't figured out a name for this cat. I just have it as a cat. And I do live with Mama. Mama Stubbies gave me a tiger that she had when she was a kid. I have her now as a queen with him as a prince.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Aw.
I just don't have this a name for this cat.
Well, she
I
needs
just
a
know
name.
it's a girl.
She needs a name.
Yeah, she needs a name.
We must get a name.
Mm.
So in closing, Kiza says, he would like to say, thank you to your family for everything you do and their presence in the Twitch community and just being awesome.
Oh, thank you, Keza. And thank you, all of you.
So one final question. If you could say anything to an upcoming streamer looking for success, what would you tell them?
I would say the biggest thing is just don't stop. I mean, it's very easy to fail if you stop trying. And if you just don't stop, you might never be huge. But as Jack Sparrow said, I mean, you may be the worst streamer I've ever heard of, but you haven't heard of me.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, there are some very terrible streamers out there. We all know their names.
Hi, Gary.
Wow.
Definitely not Haikiri. Haikiri's an awesome streamer.
Definitely, hi,
Let's say something.
Gary.
Keep it on my head.
And to the princess, if you could tell anything to anybody, what would you want to tell them?
To help them progress, well, the first one would probably be No Bad Days. I put it on here so it would stay still.
No bad
Don't know
days?
if it- And then also, like, to be kind. I do have a pin that says kind. So that would make probably my two main things. Like, because if they had no bad days, they would be happy. And if they're happy, they can, like, be kind with more of a happy way. Because, like, if someone's kind, I'm usually smiling.
You're the trust.
That's very true. You hear that, everybody? No bad days. No bad days.
No bad days.
No bad days.
So before we go, Vivi, can you say one thing with me to chat all day? Can you say all day?
All day.
That's right.
Draw that out.
All day.
All day.
One more time.
All day.
There you go. There you go.
What?
That's it.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you
you.
for having us.
And that's not
Appreciate
to me.
it.
I hope you enjoyed it. This will
Very
be on
much.
YouTube, so you can all watch it. You
Yes.
have a good night. Miss Bunny
No
Princess.
bad days.
Sleep well, Hakir.
And remember,
Thank
no
you,
bad
guys.
days.
No bad days, guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
We do too.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Say goodbye, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night,
My
Kat.
keys. Good night to the chat.
Yay.